Okay, everyone, let's take a look at Module 26108-23, Wireways, Raceways, and Fittings in the NCCER 11th edition. This will be Section 1.00, Raceway Systems. Types of conduit and their applications. Raceways are enclosed channels used to house electrical wiring. They can be metallic or non-metallic. Conduit is a raceway with a circular cross-section. Conduit size is determined by engineering specifications, local codes, and the NEC. Identifying electrical metallic tubing. EMT is the lightest duty tubing available for enclosing electrical wiring. Code related to EMT is in NEC Article 358. EMT is a good conductor of electricity and may be used as an equipment grounding conductor. Identifying rigid metal conduit. Rigid metal conduit is thick enough to permit the cutting of threads. RMC may be steel or aluminum. It could be stainless, galvanized, or enamel coated. Code related to RMC is in NEC Article 344. Identifying rigid metal conduit. RMC is thick enough to permit the cutting of threads. RMC may be steel or aluminum, stainless or galvanized, or enamel coated. Code related to RMC is in NEC Article 344. Identifying plastic coated RMC. Plastic coated RMC is corrosion resistant with a thin coating of PVC. Plastic coated RMC requires special threading and bending techniques. Identifying aluminum conduit. Aluminum conduit resists corrosion better than steel. Used in areas that may be wet and where there are chemicals. Code related to aluminum metal equipment is in NEC Section 300.6b. Identifying black enamel steel conduit. Rigid black enamel steel conduit is steel coated with black enamel. Used in the past for indoor wiring, it is no longer manufactured in the United States but may still be found in existing installations. Identifying intermediate metal conduit. Code related to IMC is in NEC Article 342. IMC is a type of rigid steel conduit with a wall thickness between EMT and RMC. RMC fittings may be used with IMC because they have the same size outside diameter and threads. Identifying rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit. Code related to PVC in NEC Article 352. PVC is non-corrosive, chemically inert, and non-aging, often used in wet or corrosive areas. Is affected by temperature changes and requires expansion joints. Identifying high-density polyethylene conduit. HDPE is an RNC or rigid non-metallic conduit listed for underground installations. It is suitable for direct burial or where encased in concrete. Code related to HDPE can be found in NEC Article 353. Identifying liquid-type flexible non-metallic conduit. Code related to LFNC is in Article 356. LFNC was developed to be used with industrial equipment. Compression connectors are used to connect LFNC to boxes or equipment. Identifying flexible metal conduit. FMC or flex can come in two types, non-liquid tight or liquid tight or LFMC. Code related to FMC or flexible metal conduit can be found in NEC Article 348. Code related to liquid type flexible metal conduit can be found in NEC Article 350. They are flexible but still must adhere to a minimum bending radius. Bonding conduit. Most equipment with a metal frame that receives electrical power is bonded. The metal frame is connected to the grounding point. Bonding provides a low resistance path to ground. Connection is made with a wire or to a metal conduit or raceway system. Code related to bonding enclosures can be found in NEC Section 250.96. Couplings. Couplings are threaded inside and are used to join male threaded pieces of RMC and IMC. Insulating bushings. Bushings are installed on the threaded end of conduit that enters an enclosure. They protect the wire from being damaged by sharp edges. Grounding insulating bushings protect conductors and allow for connection of an equipment grounding conductor. Threaded weatherproof hubs. Threaded weatherproof hubs are used in wet locations. Offset nipples. Offset nipples connect two close pieces of equipment where a slight offset is required. And conduit bodies. Conduit bodies allow access to conduit through a removable cover. There are multiple types of conduit bodies, type Cs, type L, type T, and type X. They come in different configurations to allow for changes in different directions. Sealing fittings. Sealing fittings are required for conduit in hazardous locations where explosions may occur. Making a conduit to box connection. Conduit is joined to boxes by connectors, adapters, threaded hubs, and lock nuts. Straps. Straps are used to support conduit to a surface. Spacing must follow the requirements for each type of conduit. Standoff supports. Standoff supports are used to hold conduit away from a structure. Electrical framing channels. Electrical framing channels are used with conduit clamps to support conduit. Beam clamps. Beam clamps are used with threaded rods connected to suspended hangers. Working in masonry and concrete flush mount construction. Conduit and boxes must be embedded in the concrete to achieve a flush surface. With masonry walls, the electrician must work closely with the mason. Working in a metal stud environment. Metal stud walls are often used for interior walls of commercial buildings. EMT conduit and metal-clad cable are commonly used. Non-metallic sheet cable must be protected by bushings or grommets. Working in a wood frame environment. Thin wall conduit is run through walls and ceilings by boring holes or notches in studs. Make notches only when they are absolutely necessary. Working in metal buildings. In metal buildings, conduit can be run across the structural members that support the roof. Struts type systems are used where a large number of conduits are run along the same path. And some trade terms to read over and become familiar with for this session. And some review questions for this session. It says information on conduit field for various conductors can be found in NEC informative NXA, NXB, NXC, or NXD. That would be NXC. Metal raceways and other enclosures are bonded to prevent leakage onto other electrical systems below, ensure electrical continuity and safely conduct any fault current, ensure electrical continuity and prevent leakage, ensure mechanical continuity. And that would be ensure electrical continuity and safely conduct away any fault current. A fitting that does not require support is a outlet box, a pull box, a junction box, or a conduit body. And that would be a conduit body. If conduit does not enter straight into the box, it may result in a voltage drop. The fittings may be too tight. A kick is required. Cut the conduit short. And that would be a kick is required. Beam clamps are used with straps, standoff supports, framing channels, or suspended hangers. And that would be suspended hangers. When the mason is constructing a block wall and the electrician is installing conduit into the voids of the block wall, what lengths of conduit would be the best for allowing the conduit to maneuver blocks over the sections of the conduit? 3 foot to 5 foot lengths, 6 foot lengths, 8 to 10 foot lengths, or 20 foot lengths. I think that would be 3 to 5 foot lengths. Alright everyone, that was it for that section. The next section will be 2.00, fasteners and anchors for Raceway Systems, and I'll see you over there.